Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Onward VR Master League. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's, and I am joined with my co-caster Sleepy with 2 3's, a wonderful triple nipple with 3 nips. How we doing today, boys?
Hello, NightFiree. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely, Trip.
I'm doing great. I'm excited to see some of the end of this season matchups that, are going to determine who goes on to these finals.
Yeah, no kidding. You want to talk about a lot on the line right now. It's the highest of pressure situations. The last week of regular season, whatever your standings are, is what you will be going into the championships with. We have today Animal House versus G-Men. Animal House ranked 12 and G-Men ranked 4. So, Animal House are contending for a top 7 spot. Sleepy, I mean, that top 7 spot matters a lot.
Oh yeah, it does save you a lot of hassle in staying out of those Challenger Cup and the not the round robin stages, but, it saves you time, basically. Let your team really focus, go back and practice, lock in things, try and formulate some new strategies, scrim with as many teams as you possibly can, and not just teams, challenging teams. Make sure that your team is not just walking the park. You gotta make sure that you're challenged, or else these plays might formulate, of course, favor nothing. But yeah, I mean, that top 7, that coveted 7 spot is going to be up for grabs this week, and there's going to be a lot of shifting going on from now throughout until Sunday, and I'll be excited to see where everyone shakes out as that happens.
And Trip, we were talking offline just about how that MMR separation does mean quite a bit for Animal House right now. Because they are separated by 50 MMR, they have a decent amount to gain if they can come out with a win here.
Yeah, it might even put them into the finals. I'm looking at the rankings right now. Yeah, if Animal House take it, I mean, they're at 1240, G-Men are at 1280. I've only really seen 20 points be like maximum on a win. So that could potentially put them in the top.
I mean, there's
top
so much going on this week and / weekend, right? Because to go off this point, right? All these teams are going to be playing today, this week. So the top 7 is going to have a game today. The number 7 team could lose. That's going to shift the 8th team up to 7th, depending on how that 8th team does. Like, there's just so much volatility in these rankings. I mean, Sleepy, we've had tons of seasons in the league. Do you remember the last time it was this volatile?
No, not at all. I think we've been building to this, right? Ever since, the VR League and ESL kind of came around and teams really pushed themselves to be those first few people to go to a sponsored LAN event for Onward for VR and esports. I think that is when the tide turned in Onward, and ever since then, I think we've consistently seen season over season improvement from all teams throughout all parts of the spectrum, from top teams like Globacam and beginners, and able to keep themselves sharp and stay on top. Meanwhile, though, you got teams coming up from the middle of the spectrum as well as from the bottom, climbing through the middle sections now as they put in that work and they learn to mesh together with their teammates in a more cohesive environment. And so I just feel like next season, our 10th season, our decade of Onward, basically, not really, because we've had many seasons within a year, but our 10th season, which is going to be really cool, is just amazing. So I feel like even then, next season, it's just going to get even better. So I don't really know what to say. I'm excited to see what the games from henceforth going into the championships are. I mean, Chip and I might be a little bit biased over here because we're hoping to be in those finals games, but otherwise, I'm really excited to see the games and the matchups that we have henceforth.
Yeah, I suppose you want to talk about pressure and what these matches this week really mean. You guys are a great resource to tap into. Trip is captain for a team that's competing into this top 7, for this top 7 for that round robin. Do you feel the pressure this week?
Well, we're starting this week at a little lower spot than I would personally prefer, being number 6 out of the top 7 grouping. But I feel pretty comfortable. I'm definitely looking forward to our match this weekend, and I'm looking forward to seeing how everyone else is going to handle it. I know English put up 2 matches. Vikings and Bossfire, or Vikings and Beginners are playing. There's going to be a lot. Like the the standings you're seeing now are not going to be anywhere near what they're going to end up as by Monday.
It's yeah. I mean, you're playing too, Sleepy. It's been a while since you've been behind the guns, and now they're going to be potentially slinging you into some serious high pressure moments. How are you feeling?
Well, no worse than I did last week when I returned to the game and played against my old team. We had a heartbreaking feat where we were clawing back after map 2, and then, they managed to take the win, and kudos to them because they played a hell of a game there. But, yeah, the pressure's on for sure. Coming back in for being away from the game, at least from a player standpoint, for so long has definitely got me worried, because of course I don't want to let the team down, being that dead weight or being the guy who's not pulling his weight. But, while I have never been one to be that ace shot or that crash shot, what I don't provide in the KDs, I usually provided the intel to my team, and that's where I think my value has really always been. But anyways, I don't know. I'm nervous, like you said, because we're tied basically for 5th, or closely ranked to 5th with boss fights, so whatever happens to them this weekend could also affect us. We could end up going up a little bit before, if we don't have to win this weekend, we might slide back. So, I don't know, it's so close. It's like a razor wire between every place right now.
Certainly a lot of eyes on these matches, and it's good that we have such fantastic coverage this week in particular. Tons of games going on all week and weekend, so be sure to be tuning in. Does look like we have a lobby beginning to fill up, so I think we can hop into our pick bands trip. What do we got coming in from Animal House and G-Men today?
Well, Animal House doesn't want to play Snow Peak today, which I find a little weird. Last time we scrammed them on it, I think they beat us on it. At least the first time. We played, they're good at it. I don't know why they think, G-Men I haven't seen play it, so I don't know. And then G-Men banned Bazaar, which I think is more based on the Animal House playstyle. Like, Animal House, we just scrimmed them last night, so I have first-hand experience, but they like to get very pushy. And, I don't think that works well for G-Men being attacked on both offense and defense from basically anywhere on the map. They like to flank, they like to just run random routes. It's hard to predict, and I don't think the G-Men like handling that unpredictability, so they want to take that out of the equation.
Taking a look at active rosters, we're still waiting for G-Men to fill up on all 5 here in the lobby, but we can give you what Animal House are bringing to the table. Over on Animal House, we have Green Theft Auto, Nolamite, Nynx, Dragon, Shrieking Geek, and F. Lipinski, so a lot on the line. I think we might be having tech issues too, so if you don't mind us dealing with those, we'll sort everything out and should be diving into this round soon.
Yeah, apparently my audio sounds like someone's put me on slow-mo.
Uh-huh. Okay, we'll see if we can make those fixes we need.
I think you sound beautiful, CB. I want to know from chat. I want to know what their most anticipated match or exciting match is this weekend. What do they come and see on the Twitch? What do they want? I know we got the votes. Let's take a look and see. I've been forgetting about these new features we have on the website where you can vote.
Just gotta take a look.
What you want, and let's take a look and see. The highest ranked is the newest team, OJC, the Japanese Onward community, versus the Coletos, which is happening in
right now.
Tomorrow, Friday, at 9:30 Eastern. That is the most voted for casted match, which should be a good one. It's their very first match. They've been playing in Japanese league. They have their own league, and they've been playing over there, and they finally joined us, so we're very excited to see them. And from what I've heard from a couple of teams, they're very aggressive.
streaming. Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, they don't waste time. I've watched a few of their. They have VODs. They have streams. They cast their games. Now, obviously, you don't really get much of what the casts are saying unless you understand Japanese, but man, that's a killer community, I gotta tell you. You know, I know Mr. Death has been in that Discord for a long time. They even been so kind as to institute translator bots into Discord to help those of us who didn't speak, you know, fluent Japanese or any Japanese to be able to read some of their announcements and things. So they're very welcoming and accommodating group. We're glad to have, you know, a few of those members join our league over here and wish them the best. And you know, they're friendly guys too. If you ever catch them in the lobbies there, especially JP and shoot, the other names are saving me right now. They're very friendly guys and gals over there. So like Chirp said, glad to have them in the league, and hopefully they enjoy being here and playing with the rest of us.
As in the words of Parzival and Caldrop, #1 in Asia.
Well, clearly it's I'm excited to see how they square up for sure, but I think we got to prepare ourselves for the action at hand. Does seem like we almost have. Dang it, we had a full lobby, but Animal House are still waiting on one more to join. Can't give you the active roster for G-Men. Brastamouth, The Man, Poopachu, Keisha, and Amir Koldev. Keisha is, yeah. I was gonna, I mean, this is, I think he just came off cooldown, didn't he?
Yes, this is his first week.
Yeah, so I think everyone is anticipating a dual shield approach. Because Keisha is a well-known shield player from the league from previously a water team that he stood up himself. And then now he's on G-Men, who also have a well-prepared shield technician of their own in demand. So I think the whole league is got eyes on this and wondering how this is going to go. Are they going to use dual shields? Tanker would be a map that I could definitely see it coming out on. But I'd expect to see it on cargo maybe more so than tanker, because maybe they want to have a few more rifles on tanker than they do shields, but we'll just have to see. But I think overall still a pretty solid video.
Speaking of The Man, does he ever play without the shield? I mean, would he have given up his shield position to Keisha and decided to opt for rifle? I don't think I've ever seen him play without the shield.
Oh, he used to. He didn't used to be a shield guy. Right, NightFiree? Well, I mean, you played
No,
with
he
him
wasn't always.
most, right? Like, I remember him being a rifleman first, and then more recently, like, in season, like, somewhere between, like, season 6 to 8, he transitioned over to the shield player. And yeah, and it just worked really well, and he's been doing well with it since, but he still plays without a shield on some maps.
He does. I've seen he picks the he'll pull out the rifle on, you know, when it's not necessarily warranted, and I suppose we'll see if he's going to be breaking it out next round as we dive into round number 1 of map number 1 onto Tanker.
Or not.
Yeah, we got faked out there. We were about to hop into that first bit of action. As a reminder, it is Animal House's map pick. They are home. So G-Men are going to be kicking it off on the Volk side of things, and we'll see just where that lands us. Map?
I think it lands us on the deck of a ship.
Well, I was going to say, what are your? I guess we won't even know. We'll pop in next before they start the next map to see what you think we're going to be playing today, because I do think we are going to actually get round 1 this time.
And G-Men be on the defense are shuffling things around a little bit. Looks like maybe Brastamouth is going to be collecting some nades of various types to be lobbing at Marsok. The spawn box is lifted. Here we go, round 1. Shots coming out early from the Animal House side for some suppression. One goes down on each side. The other remainers trying to stay up top to get a bit of an angle as far back as the eye can see.
Yeah, those downstairs positions are really important because you can stop anyone. If a defender decides to flank, it's very detrimental to your approach. But I'm actually looking at the man and Kija's positioning here, and they're back. I've never seen anyone on the south side of the stairs for a defensive position. Normally they're inside the building calling out behind the window. But I guess they're opting to let those stairs be taken and just call it out. I don't know, it seems risky.
Yeah, they're using the windows, which of course are bulletproof in this case, to be able to see anyone who might come up from the stairwells here, it appears, and be able to take them out that way. But yeah, they give up a lot of real estate. If too many smokes come out, that could be a risky plan. I mean, you could have somebody run on the objective and not see it if the right number of smokes lay the right direction, especially, and with, you know, a lot of people rocking night vision on tanker. The night vision really doesn't help you much in the smoke. If anything, it like blots out the sun.
Talking about smokes landing the right direction, check out this smoke. Absolutely the right direction.
That's very unfortunate. Wasted equipment is always a bad thing, but unintentional wasted equipment or accidental wasted equipment like that is even worse. And, you know, a lot of players will still be kind of bitter about that since the change from an omnidirectional to a single directional grenade. But, you know, it is what it is. That is the decision that was made. You just gotta hope that you get the right laser or just work with what you got.
Alright, so at this point in the round, I think I'd be a little concerned that they're flanking. It looks like Kija is looking behind him at the superstructure, but him and the man really don't have much coverage behind them. So unless Kija gets a lucky peek and sees one of these guys moving up, I feel like at least one G-Man is going to go down from the superstructure push.
Well, it's definitely a slow push so far. They've utilized the time well. I mean, they got their guys in the back pretty much prepped to run as soon as the finger gets snapped. But the ones up top quite aren't in position yet, at least not to my knowledge. But I don't know the plan. Of course, maybe he is in position. If Lipinski, they're going to be taking some shots there, and Shrieking Geek's going to pop out and find Brass him out.
And now the blue comes in, Green Theft Auto picks up the man, he comes around the corner, he's looking for Kija, Kija finds him.
Yeah, the green flag is good. G-Men down 2 now, it's a 4v3, 3 minutes 15 left, and Miracle Dev is going to pick up the Flipinski as he tries to push up now. Kija's on a rotation in the back, he sees shots. Shrieking Geek though, able to take down Kija as he backflips his way to try and get the shots in.
Taking running up on objective, finds Miracle Dev. Gets taken out by Poopachu on flank, but now Nolmite's on objective. Is Nolmite gonna go for a cap?
I don't
Nolmite is, he's got his tablet out.
Oh, this is a good spot to be in, too, for the cap. He's well hidden, and there he is. Animal House, get the cap. It's 2 up on map 1 already. Animal House setting a strong pace here on tanker.
That was a very patient round from Animal House. Not something that, not gaps in cover. A lot of gaps in coverage there. You know, the outside positions. The reason I don't think you see those get taken very often is because they're incredibly vulnerable to the flank, and they didn't have anybody underground to watch for an early flank move. They couldn't deny it easily. I think the easiest way to stop that flank from happening is to position somebody underground, tucked into that one lane that you have to go down to get to the back of this tanker and stop it. But they didn't have anyone there, so they let 3 get behind them, position in a nice spread on the backside, and then it was just coordinated. Lipinski and Green Theft firing on opposite sides of the map at the same time, putting the pressure on both sides of G-Men, and it opened up some gaps in their defense. We saw a nice move charging in there to snag the cap behind the crates.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, normally I would expect the team to push down both of those stairs and just take a quick peek and be like, okay, no one's coming, or someone's coming and we have to adjust our defense, but they opted not to. So yeah, that give up both the hallways plus the center hallway. They allowed all kinds of movement, and the guys at the battleship just kind of waited for those shots to happen. I mean, it's not a timed approach per se. It's a once our guys get to the superstructure and take shots, we all have to crash in, and it worked out really well. Looks like we're hopping into round number 2 now. We are seeing that 2-man shield push, Kija and the man. Both rocking shields. and a lot of aggression coming out here. I mean, Keys on the south double stack, Brass right behind him.
It was a check flash. Too high up, that's not gonna find anyone. Moldmine is gonna find Poopish on the backside of the man. Gonna try and put some shots out. Here comes a grenade. Not far enough. No one to find Miracle as well. Here comes Suppressed. Here's Suppressed, and he does. He's found 3 now. Moldmine is on a tear, and Animal House is looking solid here against the number 4 team in the world.
Those smokes saved him because TJ and Brass were waiting for him, and now they're in a firefight. Moldmine's behind the thing. Brass takes him down.
Yeah, being stuck between Brass and Keija like that, I don't think that was going to be a good thing no matter what. Keija's pretty good with getting those shots off quickly, so Dolomite would have done better to just go ahead and fall back after he heard that call out, but either way, Animal House still 4 up, G-Man with only 2 now, 5 minutes just ticking by on the clock. They've got a lot to do, and a lot of time to do it. Shrieking deep out, taking down Brass' mouth is all up to Keija now.
I guess the real question is, did Dolomite get any callouts on his kills out? Because I didn't hear any.
I didn't hear anything either, but I've been keeping a kind of higher elevation here. Keija may get the pressure from Shrieking, but there's the shot he needs. He takes him down. Shrieking is trying to get some callouts in, but he won't be enough. Green Deaths now approaching Keija. He's going to hold back. He's going to fall back. Probably a smart play there. Being too aggressive on the shield can be a very downfall, you know, because as you get closer, you're a bigger target. You're much easier for that shield player to hit.
He's now opting to go downstairs. Is he gonna go all the way around the back, or is he gonna come up these stairs?
Now he just a laser through the floor in his POV. That's crazy. That doesn't happen. I mean, it would have been dead body anyways, because none of the defenders are over there, so it's nothing game breaking, but...
He can come around the corner now, right in front of Keija.
Oh, and he hits him too, so there's no running away. Keija finds another one. That is it's 2 for him, I think, on this round. But, he's reloading. Hopefully he's recycling those mags, and, you know, he's able to scavenge whatever he can, but he's making his way through the cargo container. I think he's trying to just stir him up. Maybe have them come after him again. Because now it's a 1v2, it's a much more manageable position that he's in. He's closing in on the objective area. Probably not thinking cap whatsoever unless he just happens to know that there's a huge window, but I don't think he's going to have that sort of intel to be able to do it. Now he's creeping up the side stairs here on the south side of the ship. Nink's Dragon coming around the back side of the structure, but now he's going to run back. Nope, he's just waiting, just listening. Like a panther ready to strike.
Oh, Nix didn't see him when he picked the window. There we go, now I heard him. They are not engaging the shield at this point. They're trying to pinch him very well, Lipinski and
I think they're trying to have
Nix.
Run out the clock, because I don't think they think he'll cap, because they know if he goes for the cap, they can kill him, and he knows that. So he knows he's gonna kill him, they know that he's gonna kill him, so if they can just keep him engaged, but not killing, they achieve their goal, and Flash almost able to snag Keija, but he ducks away at the last second.
Folks at home, 2 minutes and 20 left on the clock. I know sometimes when the action gets really tense, you forget about that. He just backed downstairs. I think he's scavenging now, it looks like. He's got a rifle.
Well, it's probably his best shot to realistically engage. I mean, it's now under 2 minutes.
Ooh, he finds Nix. Those crazy rotations.
This is a grenade.
This is it. Oh, it's Flash. I think he got him. I think Lipinski's Flash.
No, he's not. He's definitely not Flash. The fire was way too focused. He's pushing it. Is he gonna get it? He does get it, and Animal House go off 3 on the first map. Lipinski saving that round. Wow.
So let's recap. Dolomite come.
Up 1, and then a shield decimates almost all of Animal House.
Yeah, Nolomite grabs 3 very early on. Keija and Brass take out 1. Shrieking then grabs Brass, and then Keija basically takes it from a 1v4 down to a
1v1.
which he ends up losing. But still a great play on both sides. I mean, Nolomite in that start of the round, really freaking crazy.
Yeah, that smoke protecting him from the cross shots was super helpful because he could literally just focus on what's in front of him, and I think he used that to his advantage. I don't think he would have made that push had that smoke not landed and crossed across that opening.
You want to cut in and give a brief apology for the audio issues we are experiencing on cast. Hopefully we can get sorted this next round, but either way, still some fantastic rounds. The action is still very present on the screen. Hopefully we can get the audio sounding good for you guys, but man, what a crazy start to this series. You know, I don't remember what the numbers were, but G-Men, certainly in my eyes at least, the favorite going into this series, and right now they're not looking too great. It's been tough battles, don't get me wrong, very close rounds from both these teams, but it hasn't been quite enough.
No, it really hasn't, and gosh darn it, they've got another kind of tough one. Animal House probably going to have something cooked up for this one, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the G-Men started out the season very, very strong, very, very strong. And then here in the last couple of weeks, there's been a little bit of a fall off, and I don't know, maybe it's a bit of a struggle for rostered players and availability or what's been going on. Everything's been crazy in the world lately, so, it's definitely easy to say that could be something that's going on for them. But, yeah, they haven't been playing at the top of their game, but even if they have, they have been taking a couple of losses here and there, so they're doing well still, but overall, yeah, they're playing a little shaky in this first map. Though it is their opponent's map, to be fair.
G-Men got really aggressive here on their defensive positioning. A Miracle Dev and Kija pushed up almost halfway across the top deck, and now Green Theft is right next to a Miracle Dev. Ooh, a Miracle sees him, misses the shots, can't find it. Green Theft rotates, gets taken down. Now the smokes are coming in. I mean, if you're Animal House right now, what's on your mind isn't a cap. It's an easy kill because they have to defend this super cappable objective. Nolomite now on the top deck coming around.
There. Oh!
Miracle Dev finds another one. That's 2 for him. Alpinski's going to come out the door while Miracle's watching it, and he goes down.
Wow. That's 3 for him. But it won't be a 4th as Nink's Dragon steps out and finds a Miracle Dev. Animal House finally started evening out the score. It's a 2v4 now, though, with 4.5 minutes left. I think G-Men might be able to secure a point here.
The spot that Kija's taken up, though, is going to really stop any kind of top deck push with this. He's looking directly across. He's not even looking towards towards the attackers anymore. He's just waiting for someone to cross his line of fire, and he's got full coverage all the way across. It's going to be really hard. At least one person's going to go down to him. You can't both. You might not get both, but you definitely can't get past him.
Yeah, Well, yeah, you won't get past him simply because he'll hear you coming from the containers next to him.
A little bit of pre-fire from Ninx there.
Yeah, and here it comes right into his trap. Shrieking Geek goes down to Kija. And
Ninx is going for a repeat.
And it works. He finds Kija, and the tripwire that laid across the entire top deck has been taken out. It's a 1v3 now. 3.5 minutes, not impossible, but it's definitely going to be a challenge for him.
Yeah, I think the things that we going through my head is I'd be more worried about defenders because you just killed 2 that were, really far up, and he didn't see Poopachu there. I guess he's not worried about it anymore. He's just going to assume it's clear.
I think might have saw him through the window there. Yeah, because there's motion towards it. Poopachu, Brass, they're all looking in that direction. They saw him there. Brass is going for the peek. He's hoping for the look. Will he find it? Yes, he does. Brass him out, finds it, and G-Men come alive, finding their first point here on map 1.
Part of me just wonders if G-Men just weren't loose enough as a whole. Maybe my initial thought was Kija being in with this team right now, it's throwing him off a little bit. but he's been playing great. He's been a key component to G-Men being close in their losses, and that round looked a lot better. The G-Men had a plan in mind. They acted on it early, and they got their early picks. Their plan pays off, and then they don't get over aggressive. They don't try and overextend. They stay where they're at. They lose one or two over the course of defending, but Keisha with that tripwire. I can't remember who it was. It was up in the crates earlier.
Miracle
Dev finding those picks early. I mean, it was just some good aggressive positioning. And honestly, that's the last thing you expect if you're 3-0, right? You just come out with a cap and a win. You're on top of the world. You don't really anticipate the defense getting aggressive.
Yeah, for sure. You're definitely not expecting people off objective. You definitely think someone's going to be like, basically sitting on it, spinning around while it goes,
Yeah. Yeah, the defense tends to get a little tighter. The pre-fire tends to come out from on the top there with this objective too. I wonder if we'll see that out of Animal House. Because, you can get even more aggressive than G-Men did. You can put people up onto the second level, look for shots right out of spawn. It's I'm curious to see how Animal House are going to defend. And, this objective, like Sleepy mentioned, is definitely cappable. It's not an easy one to defend, and so G-Men could be looking at an opportunity to come back here with a cap of their own.
I was just thinking the same thing myself, NightFiree. We're going to find out soon enough as we do see two shields come out from the side of the G-Men again. 2 seconds left before the spawn box clears, and Animal House are already starting with the pre-fire. G-Men charging up the top deck pretty strongly, but I do feel they're going to be hitting the below here before too long. And yes, the Miracle Dev and the Man appear to have gone down.
Dolomite gets a call out for the shield and some frags coming out. Yes, it's a frag. Green Theft lobbing one up, not finding anything. Brass looking over Keij's shoulder, a la Zach and the Man.
Get a new spot. He went back. He went back to the right side.
Just getting that information to the team. Lipinski's been called out, I believe. Green Theft's probably been called out now that he's taking shots.
I'm too short. Can you drop your shield with that?
Yeah, the Animal House defense is moving around quite a lot for a team who just needs to lock in one more round. I mean, there's just so much, kinetic movement going on there. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would just be tucked in super tight to every approach possible to the defense. And I mean, I've been recently preaching about trying to reach some early round picks, but on the defense, if you're locked down into a first map round, a first map win on a singular point on defense, I'd just take the point on defense and just play it safe.
Yeah, and what we're seeing right now is the G-Men standard, right? They kind of sit and wait. They do the same thing on Cargo. They sit and they wait in the middle. They don't get pushy. They wait for early picks over their shield guy, the shield shooter combo, and then once they've picked off one or two, then they start pushing a nade. Gonna find Lipinski.
Oh my
wow.
goodness. Wow, that was a good nade. Well placed, a good roll. Nice. But F. Lipinski's going to be calling that out, so they're going to be looking for that res. Green Theft's running across. Keija should be calling that out. He should have been able to see some of that cross. But he will get the res. F. Lipinski back on his feet. And Green Theft Auto safe to live another day.
Brass finds Lipinski in the same spot.
Oh, yeah,
I think that was a little bit of an oversight on the Animal House side, staying there.
Well, I mean, yes and no. You can't really give that container up, per se. Because if you do, that's capportunity all day. And Brass, the Mouth, and Nink's Dragon are going to trade. No, sorry, Brass is going to find Nink's. And a Miracle Dab is going to get taken out by someone.
Shrieking.
Might catch that. Yeah, Shrieking. There we go. And Shrieking will go up to find Ninx on the res, but that was an oversight for sure. Ninx definitely should not have popped back up to look for that refrag, as that shooter Brass is still just waiting on that corner looking for it.
Call outs for kill count right there. Good communication on the Animal House side.
Yeah, I'll say Animal House has really stepped up their game in these last few seasons. They've really began to pick up some momentum. I mean, they've always played well. They've always been in that high tier, mid tier, high mid tier range pretty much since the dawn of time. But you know, they've really been putting it together here this season, and I like seeing it because they're a fun group of guys to watch. That's for sure. Ooh, the push is
Nolamite
coming in.
got flashed.
Brass finds Nolamite on that push with the flash. Now I think he's going for the cap. Oh, he barely misses Shrieking Geek, but he's ducked back inside the container. He's going for it. No, Nink's Dragon will find the kill instead. Green Theft Auto puts some shots in to make sure. Poopachu's now rotating around. He's looking for it. He'll find Green Theft, but no, Green Theft will manage to kill him first. The man takes down Shrieking Geek with the shield, and he's on a push towards the objective, but it isn't too fast. Nink's Dragon finds Kija, and Green Theft is now in the middle of a firefight between himself and Green Theft. Trip, I need air.
Green push in the corner, he finds the man, and Animal House take map number 1. Man, that shield fight in the back behind the objective had me super concerned, because if they picked off the back defender, that shield would just have free reign. No one turned around to help him. They were all focused on the objective, and I was really concerned that he was going to get that high ground, and then it's all over, Anakin.
You know, that was that was the shield not being effective, in my opinion. I feel like for that push and the push previous to that, when G-Men were on offense, the duo shield didn't really do enough for them. And I say that because they didn't find the kills. Sometimes those shield players just dial in on a head with the pistol. You know, on this map, you can run night vision and a laser, so the powerful element of the shield pistol combo is there and available, but we didn't see shots landing from either the man or Kija, and that's not really something that happens often, right? I mean, Kija has been known to be a fantastic shield player and a dangerous killer with it. The man, like we were talking in pre-show, is effective with the shield, but what we saw there was both shield users not landing shots. And, you know, if they had rifles, if they were there with their team to push in on objective, you know, they might have been able to take those shots on the Nynx and kill Nynx before he gets whoever's capping there. It could be 3-3 right now if they had another rifle in that situation. And you just got to wonder, you know, how effective the dual shields was there. I do think here for our next map, which is going to be Cargo, I argue it is, you know, an effective tool, especially in these close quarters. But again, only if you're finding your shots, only if you're hitting those kills. I guess we've seen the shield as of late, this season in particular, be used as a recon device, but it definitely wasn't being played as that in that last round, or, you know, I would not expect it to be played as that here in Cargo.
I would also like to point out that because we are going back to Cargo, the G-Men roster has changed, and we are going to be seeing the venerable Zach Fontaine and the man shooter shield combo. Kija is out, so probably not going to be seeing the dual shield approach from the G-Men side, unless,
interesting,
I mean, maybe at a certain point they decide to swap that back in. But I don't know who I'd give up. I mean, the man and Zach are tied together at the hip. I wouldn't play one without the other. So out of Brass Poop and a Miracle Dev, they're all good, all good killers. I don't know who would I want to give up. So if you give up a rifle to have a shield, you're down a shooter.
Right.
And, you know, if you give up too many shooters, then once they get picked off, what do you do?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think they agree. I think we agree. I think two shields just doesn't work. I mean, maybe it can. I don't think it's worth it for Tanker. I think Tanker's too big, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of corridors, but they didn't get any of the corridor objectives on that map.
Right,
Like, they were
that's
all
true.
top deck. So
point.
that it basically was useless in that sense. I'm sure they were hoping, you know, for some cargo hold objectives, or the back room objectives where they could really utilize those shields to their advantage, because they'd be, you know, up against more walls and have more solid cover to surround them and kind of build themselves a wall, if you will, with the shield to prevent themselves from being able to just be run around and flanked on and things. I mean, it just takes away too much. Like, I think taking away 2 rifles from a 5-man squad is just too much. You just lose momentum. And while Kija did find good kills on it throughout map 1 here and there, especially when he was left as like the last man alive for that clutched round, you know, it's just, it's just not worth it, simply put.
Yeah, I think that it's curious, right? We're gonna see how G-Men play this map. It's gonna be a change, I would expect. Zach coming back in, they're back to the regular 5. They didn't get not to say that Kijo wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. He played well, and I've seen Kijo clear teams with a shield and a pistol, but it just didn't really, like you said, they didn't get the objectives. They could have played off of that. They didn't have to pick into shields, but the man's, that's pretty much all he's doing. Kijo, that's pretty much all he does, and maybe their roster just wasn't right for the objectives they got. It's hard to react off of that, but no more waiting around as we hop into map number 2, round 1.
Early shots from Pupachu find Ninx.
Get inside, grenades coming.
And G-Men have effectively just pinned all of Animal House into that center diamond area, and now they can start lobbing in grenades. Zach finds Green Theft. Miracle Theft finds Nolamite. Frags onto the objective. Shrieking Geek does find Zach Fontaine. The man's shooter is down. But will that stop him? C4 right there. The man sees it and runs off. Miracle Dev finds and confirms, and Brass finds Shrieking, and it's over. G-Men only lose 1 man.
That was a different feel. That felt like G-Men a lot more in sync. Maybe they just turned on that extra gear after losing map 1. You know, G-Men is not a team to roll over lightly after a loss. But 4-1, you know, momentum should be on Animal House's side there for him to then come in and just... that was very impressive.
This is G-Men's most experienced map, though. I mean, don't take that, you know, I mean, they play cargo a lot and very well. They've won it 75% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely some key things there that happened that really helped G-Men secure that round very quickly. Pupachu's pop out with the quick suppression and the pre-fire into that lane, pretty much guaranteed to catch anybody who's willing to make that cross unprotected. It's just pretty standard from both sides anymore now. So I don't really foresee that being too crazy. And then I saw a lot of shuffling, a lot of movement again on the Animal House side on their defense. So I'm sure they were just trying to get some ideas, get some eyes on where their enemy was, but it ended up hurting them in a few scenarios. And now a couple of times, you know, G-Men got lucky there and they were able to just find right place, right time, or land something with a grenade or something like that. But, you know, overall, Animal House didn't really do anything wrong. They just got caught off guard, and G-Men took advantage of it pretty handedly.
We'll see if G-Men can handle Animal House this round as we hop into round number 2 of map 2. Good answer for the G-Men, but we'll see if they can keep the momentum rolling. Animal House definitely looking strong in this series so far, and they got a lot of smokes dumped out. Free fire pumping out down lanes on both sides. Tons of smoke. Shrieking's pressed up. Shrieking and the man about to be into a bit of an action and a trade. Both dead instantly. Brass to mouth, looking for some shots. A bit of an aggressive G-Men, and they kind of have to be. They have to panic a little bit. These smokes are denying some lines of sight, and you got to make sure you're not getting capped on underneath all of these smokes. More shots ringing out from that backside. Brass finds Nolamite. Green Theft's on a bit of a Rambo mission here. Every eye is drawn to Lipinski and Niggs, but Green Theft's walking a smoke. Pupachu has eyes. Zach is looking, but he's behind their lines of sight now. That nade's too far. Green Theft misses shots onto Zach. Pupachu is aware, and he starts to apply the pressure. Finds the back of Green Theft. Meanwhile, Pupachu and Brass go down. Excuse me, Brass finds Lipinski, and now it's all up to Niggs.
Yeah, Green Theft, I don't know what happened there. He got all the way to those green boxes, and then I think he had a reload that he wasn't prepped for in the smoke.
I saw him take shots, and I thought maybe he just missed him, so he was resetting. But here, Nink's looking for the shots, can't get it. A bit of a team kill onto Miracle, pushes things to a 2 men left alive situation for G-Men, but they take 2 rounds in a row, and so far, Cargo is in their favor.
Oh yeah, G-Men have really come out swinging here on Cargo, and so far, I mean, both teams have taken both maps that they have chosen, right? Animal House chose Tanker, and they walked away with that one pretty handedly. So far, G-Men are doing the same thing. We're missing the cap that we saw from Tanker on the animal, like we got from the Animal House side. But that one, I would just have to say, is just sheer movement. I mean, they found picks quickly. Green Theft had a nice little sneaky snake play there, though, with the walking smoke. And I am surprised how long it took G-Men to realize that smoke was moving. But, you know, in-game, things are going on, and there were a lot of things going on in that round. I mean, I could barely hear NightFiree over the gameplay. The gunshots were ringing so loudly. I hope the viewers at home were able to hear any of that commentary.
I couldn't hear myself, so I was just hoping that my mic booms through. But yeah, I mean, noise suppression, an element that we usually talk about on Tanker, but certainly applies here.
Oh yeah.
You know, Green, he was in a dangerous spot. He managed to work past everyone's eyesight. And I
want to talk about his route, though, because this is what confuses me. So he started out, he went under the pipes with Neeks in the pre-fire, went over to the yellow room on the north side, hung out by the barrels, popped a smoke in his hand, and then walked it across the pipes again, back to 3 or to 2. And then I was like, why are you making this cross over and over?
Yeah, it could have been the insane amount of gunfire that was persuading him away from that side. I don't know what his mindset was there. Maybe it wasn't in the books for Animal House to go with that plan, but that looked like a nice play, honestly, from Animal House. The huge distraction one side, invest one in a walking smoke on the other, and become a flank. I mean, it almost was a really nice play. Now we're into the action. More pre-fire, if you can hear me. Poopachu dumping out the fire. These LMGs, a serious audio threat. Lipinski able to pick off Brass to Mouth in a long exchange down one of those lanes. And now Miracle Dev might be running into Nolamite shortly if he decides to peek out here from this crate.
Yeah, Nolamite put a flash out over top and now is looking to push really aggressively up in the smoke. I wonder if that smoke coverage called. I wonder if they couldn't hear him through the smoke, but apparently they did. And Miracle Dev rotates and finds him.
Here we're seeing the shield shining, doing what it's done best this season. The man with a great recon, a bit of a recon tower right now, able to find out where all these positions are, and he's radioing it into Zach. Zach's pumping out the fire. Shrieking Geek took some shots onto that combo and didn't quite land them. And in the meanwhile, we have Poopachu in the center. So it's going to come down to these 3 working their way up through this Animal House defense. Not going to be the easiest thing to do. A nice nade comes out right where that fire was from Zach. Another nade coming in, trying to land inside the tunnel, but it goes a bit too far, so the man and Zach are still safe. I wonder if I wonder if Animal House have an accurate kill count, if they know that Poopachu is here, if they're aware that there's 3 left alive, or if maybe they think it's come down to just Zach and the man, because Poopachu could be a threat. He could rotate around this far east side and be able to provide a distraction for the man and Zach to work their way up, or they could 3-man push here if they have the proper utility.
I think Animal House actually thinks one more is alive because there was a trade on the last kill.
I think Poopachu's using pillaged resources from his dead teammates here. Tosses out a few smokes, and they get some really good angles. You couldn't ask for a better red smoke on objective.
On the second, on top of the
container.
container.
Perfectly placed, denying so much vision. Man and Zach able to work up in here easily. It forces the rotation from Green Theft. I mean, you don't get a better smoke than that. Zach with a flash out and over. Lipinski almost catches him. The Green Theft auto rotating. Not able to get picked up by Poopachu. Here comes Shrieking Geek charging up through the center, and Poopachu able to find one, but not in time. Animal House put a round on the board.
A very nice pinch in there at the end from Shrieking as the shot going out.
Yeah, Animal House did well there on their defense. Their positions were a bit more planted. They weren't trying to look around and check for every little peek and angle, and it worked out very well for them. G-Men, especially the man and Zach, made a nice little push up there, but overall they were overwhelmed by that Animal House defense, and they did a heck of a job. Now I want to see them come back and do it again here on offense, because they definitely have what it takes. This is a map, it's very similar to the top deck of Tanker, so it should feel and play very similarly. They should be able to come in with that same kind of gusto and take it out, but as we all know, these top north objectives, the far north and the one just south of it, literally 15 meters maybe on the other side of the container, yeah, basically they have similar, if not identical defensive positions, and that will probably come into play. But we're getting some excitement here. Animal House are alive on the map, and that's a good thing. They're not going to let it run to a 3-0 and be up against the ropes and have to do it. They've got some time now. They can put another round on the board, hopefully a Marsoc round, and go back to their bulk advantage, which they would have taken, being that this is not their map pick. So we'll have to see what comes of it. I actually do have faith in Animal House, but G-Men are very comfortable on this map. They play cargo a lot. It's one of their most successful maps, so it will be a little difficult for Animal House to pry this one away from them, but I think they can do it.
We'll see as we hop into round number 4 of map number 2. If you are just tuning in, you've been missing a pretty exciting series so far. Animal House rank 12th. Right now leading in the series against rank number 4 G-Men. So a lot here on the line for Animal House. This could bump them up a significant margin. And depending if they are able to get a challenge in this week or not, it still could put them in contention for top 7, considering all the shifting that's going to be going on with all these games. So a lot on the line for this squad as they push in, and Shrieking already finding an early pick, kicking it off nice for Animal House. The smokes are thick, the suppressive fire is here. The man does have comms for a second. Might have been able to radio in some information, but not a ton. And now G-Men on the back foot, and Animal House looking to get aggressive quick. Zach with a huge pickup. Miracle Dev denying the entry. 2 go down. They're both resable. If they can get these reses, they can salvage. Here comes the suppressive fire. He finds another over the confirming shots. Brass to mouth is there. Almost pushes in. Lipinski looks for the res. Can't find it. Poopachu picks up a revive, and G-Men into a 1v4.
Wow. I mean, there's just a stack of bodies.
Man confirming brain theft with C4.
Man C4.
Yeah.
The man's been dead this whole round and he gets the kill.
Oh, that is true. I guess he passed it off.
It was his I got set off by a frag grenade.
Either way, G-Men get ahead with round number 4 in the books. Their lead now 3-1.
Yeah, there's really not much that can be said there for that round. G-Men pretty much just shut it down in the middle, and I mean, you can look at the overhead map and just look at all those blue X's and where they're located. I mean, 3 of them are literally right on top of each other. I mean, they're hard to distinguish almost on the overhead. And then the other 2 aren't that far away. So realistically, Animal House went in very strong. They had the advantage. I think that was Ninx picked up an early pre-fire kill, which was great for them. And then as they got to the middle, they didn't really hesitate, but they got held up there a bit. And once they did, the defense of Miracle Dev was able to rotate into that position where he just melted 3 through the cracks and underneath the cargo doors. And then there was actually a really beautiful grenade that was thrown from one of the members of Animal House, the one that got Poopachu maybe, or Zach Fontaine. It was great. It landed like right next to the guy. He tried to prone away because he knew he wasn't going to be able to get up fast enough to really move. And it got him, but unfortunately he was res later in the round. But, you know, nothing really wrong with that round from how Animal House played it. They just got held up, and G-Men took advantage and rotated into their spots so fast that they didn't have a chance to really recover. And some of them even got killed in the rotation to try and pick up the res. So it is kind of a double-edged sword there.
Round number 3, firing up, taking time between each round to figure out exactly how they want to approach each objective. And This one's not much different from the round before, just slightly shifted, so I do anticipate strategies to be similar, but I'm curious to see how G-Men attack this objective. I'm sure they'll invest a shield rifle combo in the tunnel, and if they don't, that would be a shift in strat. It does look like they are going to do a little adjustment.
Using all that free fire to allow their guys to move up into the early. Wow, Nolamite gets shot in the back by Green.
That's a weird team kill. You should definitely be aware that a friendly can be there. Brass able to pick out Nolamite getting over aggressive with the flashbang. It does temporarily put a pause on the G-Men push from that side, but they quickly regroup, continue to charge in. Miracle Dev and Shrieking getting dangerously close to each other as well. We'll see if Miracle is going to be able to find this pick, but either way, G-Men kicking off their Marsoc round with a great start. Looking to answer back on map 2 4-1, just like Animal House did it to them on Tanker. Come the nades onto objective.
Shrieking and Miracle trade in 2. Looks like the res is going to come out. The man comes and confirms, but no, he gets down by Lipinski instead.
And it is resable. Pupachu has to be careful. He tries to deploy the smoke through the wall. Confirms come in from Lipinski. And now it's down to a 3v3. Animal House doing a nice job of shutting down the advantage, evening the odds. Now they have to calm themselves, reset, make sure they're covering the appropriate angles and not get picked off on rotations. Brass almost finds Nynx, almost goes down to Nynx, and now Pupachu rotating around to support.
Animal House is doing a lot of movement here across open sightlines even. Nynx did push up. Lipinski finds Brass. Now Nynx takes a little peek. Doesn't find anyone. Zach's looking for him. Nynx finds Pupachu as he crosses. Now Zach finds Nynx. 2-on-1.
Animal House doing a great job of shutting down the advantage. Zach has 4 minutes on the clock. Green Theft on a rotation out. Nearly gets scooped up by Zach just by the skin of his teeth. The both of them survive, and now Zach's going to reset. Going to force Animal House to readjust, get a little panicky. Going to try and rotate around and catch some rotations from Animal House, because with only 2 left alive on this objective, it's super hard to just hold one angle, right?
Yeah, but in a 2-man defense, I think that Animal House has the advantage here. I mean, if they had set up something, it doesn't look like they're doing it. It looks like they're all worried about the same spot. But if they opted to set up a nice cross defense, there's spots that you can just hold, and one of you is going to get the kill. Zach does opt to pick up the shield now.
Yeah, why you want to put Green Theft over on that opposite side? Then you have a little X basically right in front of the objective, and you have lines of sight to completely deny rotations across the board. He does spot out Zach though, so Zach's reset does go noticed. I'm curious why Lipinski's still holding that angle. Maybe they don't have an accurate kill count.
I don't think they have an accurate kill count, yeah. Lipinski's peeking the corner. You can't shoot through that.
Odd choice.
Zach comes around, drops his shield. Green's looking for him now. Lipinski's there.
What a crazy
Zach's
rotation!
Objective.
I don't agree with that. But the pressure overwhelms Zach, and he tries to go in for the cap. Animal House secure a nice kill and a round, keeping it pretty close, 3-2.
Well, what started out as an early sloppy round for Animal House with a team downing and a couple of mistakes here and there, having them to be a bit on the back foot, everything kind of turned around the second that I believe that was a Miracle and Shrieking Geek traded there in one of the middle rooms, because Shrieking's call out gave Animal House a perfect amount of time to rotate guys in to be able to kill the man as he focused on trying to actually down or finish the enemy call out player versus getting his own guy up first, which might have been smarter because maybe then a Miracle Dev would have been able to back him up as they finalized him. But hindsight's 20/20, and then from there it seemed that G-Men were the ones making the mistakes all the way up until that very risky but ballsy move from Zach Fontaine as he goes for the cap. But at the very end of the round, he could have possibly come out on top there with just the right amount of luck on his side, or just the wrong rotations from Animal House members there at the end. But I don't know, what started out again weak for Animal House became very strong at the end, and they did well with their defensive rotations towards the latter half of the round and keeping the objective defended. G-Men made some questionable choices. They got caught out with their pants down a couple of times, especially in that whole res around a Miracle Dev and the man situation. A lot of resources dedicated to that, which killed time and eventually players. So realistically, a great run from Animal House and a little shaky there from G-Men, who were otherwise controlling this map and just that 1 point away from taking it.
Maybe getting a little over-aggressive with their advantage there. Not sure what it was, but they do go on the defensive. Animal House looking to take the series if they can put a cap here on this objective. They had a great approach their last Marsoc push, and it was a very similar objective location. So I do think quick and fast with heavy smokes could be a good way to overwhelm G-Men's defense, and doesn't look like they're going to apply as much pressure this time around. They are still charging in, though. Nolomite and Nynx getting right up into the face of the man. C4 up and over. A great toss. Does find Nynx. The man's going to rotate around onto the other side. He does get the confirm, but Lipinski able to find him. So a trade 1-1 there. Nades also starting to right in. Shrieking Havoc goes down. That's going to force a pause in Animal House's push. Still, though, plenty of time. Time not an issue here. 5:20 on the clock.
Poop downs Lipinski with the nade. Miracle that finds Green Theft Auto. Shrieking Geek finds Brass to mouth.
Wow, I'm surprised Brass doesn't find that kill there. He had the back of Shrieking with a great 180, finding that pick, and now it comes down to just Nolo and Shrieking. I think Shrieking was going to go for a res, but no one available there, so they are into a locked-in 3v2.
A calmness falls across the battlefield as everyone gets scared to peek. Kubichi finds the backside of Shrieking. Oh. Now Nolomite's going for it. He's coming up. Poop hear him?
I don't know. It kind of sounded like it. Or it looks like it, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not sure what Poop heard, but it does seem like he's aware of Nolomite's position. The trade comes in. G-Men secure map number 2, 4-2. We got ourselves a series decider map 3.
Wow. And then, okay, so basically take what I said in the last round and flip it, and that's what we have this time. Animal House started off pretty strong there. Yeah. And then they were kind of just whittled away. It really wasn't their fault. They didn't have many resources left by about the 5-minute mark because they were either C4'd with that toss over from the man, which ultimately led to him being like quadruple time teamed in his spot, getting roasted just afterwards. But hindsight, and he still managed to secure the kill, confirm it. And then later, a nice grenade came out from the G-Men side again, taking down Shrieking Geek. Not taking him out, just taking him down, but of course causing his team to have to change that, use that utility to revive him. And that's going to cost them both time and of course, those resources. Overall, the push, I didn't see any. Now, which might have helped them out a little bit, was when Nolomite was in the yellow room and forget who the other last person was. I think maybe Nynx or F. Lipinski. Anyways, if they would have rotated back to the center containers and tried to draw a Miracle Dev into his usual position across that, Nolomite had the perfect line of sight to take that out. But unfortunately, they didn't do that. They weren't able to grab that attention, and so he was able to kind of keep that hardened position back a little bit further away and protected. But ultimately, it was a good round, so kudos to Animal House for being able to put up the points that they did and keeping the score line close. We've got a nice series here going into a third map, and so, I'm excited to see what are both of your predictions, NightFiree, Trip. Like, who do you think, after watching the first 2 maps, each team taking their own map, granted, who do you think is going to be able to come out on top here in the series?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would like to point out map 3 is going to be Subway.
Yes.
And I'm very excited about the maps we've played tonight. I really like this, this series of maps. But I don't know if I can call one side or the other. I mean,
yeah, it's tough.
G-Men are good with the shield, which helps a lot of these approaches. But Animal House have a lot of flank routes on this. Picking up Nolamite and some of the other Mob Squad guys earlier in the season, they've been working on that, and I think it works out really well for them. So if G-Men aren't watching all their flanks, it might end badly for them.
I'm going to put my vote in G-Men, but I think it's going to be a 4-3 win. I think now both teams are warmed up. They both won their maps wholeheartedly, but in my opinion, I think that this close quarters map, I just don't know. I just think that it's going to come down to a 3-3, and with G-Men now with Zach Fontaine in the roster, they've looked a little bit better on that second map than they did on map 1. They were finding the picks they needed in most scenarios, and Zach's going to stay on for Subway. So the double shield not going to be necessarily a planned play that they're going to bring in for Subway here, but that's the only reason I give that last point to G-Men, but still, it's a close call,
Yeah, and I think I'm going to go the opposite. I think I'm going to go with Animal House on this, and, I know a lot of people have heard me say over the years that G-Men is one of my favorite teams because of how they play and kind of the intelligentsia, the intellect of their play style, but today, I'm kind of team Animal House, and then also noticing that the wild card Will-O-the-Wisp himself has now joined in on the roster for Animal House means that things are about to get pretty wacky and pretty crazy, and he's capable of some crazy stuff. I mean, that guy goes on some tears in comp lobbies and in games that are just unbelievable. So be interested to see what he brings to the table. But Animal House will be our team on the offense here in the first round as G-Men defend the Chinatown objective up top.
Curious to see how Animal House approach this. They don't really get a favorable spawn. I think the faster spawn is to... Oh, wow, a lot going on here. The faster spawn, obviously, the other side of the Subway. Green Theft dropping his gun there and unable to grab it for a good 5 or 10 seconds, but that shouldn't throw off them too much. It does allow G-Men to position a little bit more thoroughly and not have to risk getting picked, but it doesn't even look like Animal House are going to opt to put their efforts on the standard entry points. Just Lipinski is here. The other two going onto the catwalk and underground.
On the catwalk. Yeah, but looks like we've got Willow and Nynx pushing up here to the main central entrance. Miracle Dev just around the corner from that, starting to lay some suppressive fire down onto the north stairwell.
They got some pretty aggressive positioning. Miracle Dev with the quick peeks up here down into the catwalk. Finds one. Now Nynx taking shots up onto Miracle. Those don't quite land, and I wonder what Nynx's plan of action is going to be. Looks like he's starting to drop back.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to abandon this plan of attack. He doesn't really have, I mean, at least from the overhead quick glance, he doesn't really have anybody in a position to support him in this cause, so he's smart. He's probably smart for doing this, honestly.
Streaking and Green Theft working their way up the stairs. Lipinski has gotten to the tippity top, but he's facing off against Miracle Dev on the south lane.
Yeah, and he's just so unpredictable. He's been bouncing around up there like it's his job. Well, I mean, it is his job, but I mean, he's doing it with such aggression, and he's finding the kills though, and so he's backed away for now. But it wouldn't surprise me if he just randomly pops out around the corner and finds Lipinski here.
Green Theft trying to work with Shrieking on pushing these stairs, but they don't want to be too loud. Brass finds Nynx. And I was wondering what Nynx's plan of action was going to be, because we've really just been watching these three here work their way in, but goes down, and let's see what Animal House's approach is in this 3v5 right now.
Well, Green Theft Auto and Shrieking are about to find out with Zach Fontaine. He He's heard something, or he's just startled. Oh, and he's got to have seen Streaking pop across there. Oh yeah, he's lasered in. He's looking for something. Green Theft will find his bullets. Zach Fontaine gets the first kill. Or no, not the first kill. The third kill in the round. But now they're in a bit of a pickle, as Zach Fontaine finds Shrieking Geek as well. And it's just up to F. Lipinski here to close things out for Animal House. Just under 3 minutes.
Not enough. All 5 alive for G-Men, securing round number 1. Can't really ask for a better start to the series deciding map.
Yeah, and you know, on the Animal House side, it looked like they were just trying to poke and see where the openings were and get a feel. Maybe they've not come across G-Men or this map. I don't remember the last time I've seen Animal House play this map.
They picked it.
They did pick it. That is true. But, you know, maybe they just didn't have a plan for the defense. And with the Miracle Dev, like you said, he was bouncing all around. You know, if that was my guy, I would have been yelling at him, because that's like an early peek, and he could have got picked off at the stairs. Especially with Poopachu being there, I saw it as very unnecessary, but he got the kills. So it worked out for him. And then he rotated towards the south stairs and got some more kills. And they just whittled away at the Animal House offense, you know, one at a time. Animal House didn't push hard and aggressive. They didn't push at the same time. They didn't push all from one location. And I feel like those two things are what Animal House does best.
That objective is tough to do that with. You know, it is. There's so many with the, you know, the recent, I guess not recent, but with the underground option, the catwalk option, and then the north and south. There's a lot of different entry points, and a lot of those take a lot. It takes a long time to get all the way underground, to go up those stairs and do it quietly. That took them 4 minutes. Catwalk's there in 1. You can be up the stairs in 30. You know, like, it's the timing varies so much on all these entries. It just takes a little bit extra of that coordination if you do want to have it all crunch in at the same time. But yeah, I mean, a nice try from Animal House, and we'll see what G-Men can do as we hop into round 2.
Yeah, round 2 will have G-Men spawning on the more, well, as NightFiree put it, the more favorable north side, which I'd have to agree based on the looks here. It's, you know, definitely a quick shot up the stairs, and hey, we're up top. There is no waiting, and the man's going to be running points, so he'll be able to spot anyone early on, but the defense won't press out that far. They'll be holding back just a bit, which could be smart. I think Animal House is going to play it safe on their defensive rounds. This is the last map for the series. This win could be big for them. And this is the third map. Oh, to pop out. Green Theft manages to find Zach Fontaine somehow. And a flash out onto the man. And he's able to find the man as well. This is a great thing for Animal House to have taken down the shield, but what I would have done would have been try and push. Oh my goodness! Green finds 2 in a sweeping shot. If he finds Poopachu here, but unfortunately he gets robbed. He would have had the ace, but my goodness, someone clipped that. That was great.
Poopachu dumping the suppressive fire downrange, very nervous about the peak, trying to pillage his teammate right now. He doesn't really have the luxury, as the enemy is right here around the corner, smoke in hand. He's not going to be ready for it. Shrieking finds the kill. Animal House with the, I don't know, that was a minute and a half defensive round. Completely shut down an aggressive G-Men squad, tie it up 1-1.
Yeah, so I was, you know, Sleepy was making those calls at the beginning of the round, and I was like, are we watching the same game? 1, that was the south stairs. 2, they got very aggressive with their defensive positioning. He was right in the face of the man as he came around that corner. And man, getting that, he got the shooter behind the shield. He managed to get the shield, and then that sweeping shot, I was just sitting over his head, and it was so beautiful. He just picked up 2, and that's 4 down in, like, you know, 15 seconds of firefight.
Yeah.
And what really, you know, confused me was before that sweeping shot, he killed the man and Zach, and the rest of G-Men were still just hanging out in the, like, once the shield went down, then they came running around the fence, and they're like, oh no, we have to protect our team. And I'm like, y'all are late to the party, you know?
I think they got held up on that main lane. I wasn't watching, the angle we had was mostly focused on the action in the corner, but I want to say that they were just nervous either nervous or getting actively held up on that lane, because you did see Pupichu taking some fire when he started to push up, and then he snaps around, confirms the kill. There was a bit of chaos there on that push, but yeah, I don't know why all 5 didn't charge around that corner. I don't know what those 3 were doing sitting back there. Just a bit of out of sync on the push. And you know, same thing happened with Animal House, right? Just a little bit out of sync, and everything goes wrong.
Sure enough, man. But Green Theft, goodness gracious, gonna give me a heart attack. Looks like Animal House having some troubles there, and we will be resetting the round. We do appreciate you folks hanging in there with us.
This map in particular, that syncing up is so hard because you can't see the rest of your team, and you can't really tell where they are because the verticality doesn't you can't see that on the tablet. If it was like Quarantine, you can see, oh yeah, my guy's moving in the east, or if I look at my tablet, he's in the east, and it's a lot easier to time those things. But on here, it's way more difficult.
Underground objective, completely shifting play styles up here from that upstairs tough to coordinate approach to a couple of tight entry points right onto objective. You have 2 stairways and an underground entry point. Typically we see C4 getting creatively placed. You can see the man right now going up to toss his C4. I think he's going to hide it right behind the trash bin, so going to be unseeable until they've already pushed up the lane.
Well, F. Lipinski and Nink's Dragon having no problems pushing down the south stairs. They've made it all the way into Yellow Room as they look for any defenders on their level, but it doesn't appear that G-Men have put anyone on an upper level. It appears everyone is down in the basement to protect the homeland and defend the objective. They do not want to give up any points on defense, and they shouldn't, because Animal House played a solid defense on the last round, and I can only assume that this being their map pick, they're going to have another solid defensive round ready for them again. So G-Men really can't risk that. But Animal House had to have picked this for a reason, so they've got to have some sort of plan for this objective and being able to take it. But are they ready for a 5-man defensive downstairs is the question I think I want to know. I'm not sure if everyone wants to know.
Freaking Willow and Green Theft on the downstairs approach, slowly inching their way ever closer to the trash can C4. And I mean, what do you do against this? I wonder if we're going to start seeing nades get tossed in. They did it as I was saying it. Doesn't catch the C4 out, though. Should be an indicator that there is a push coming of some kind, and the man's trying to verify by quick peeking in this hallway to see if he can spot anybody. C4 goes off, doesn't catch Shrieking. Shrieking finds the man. Things are in favor of Animal House now. Brass comes for the refrag. He goes down 2. Animal House up 5-3.
Things not looking good so far for G-Men. They're down 2 guys already. Your men in the downstairs are pushing up. F. Lipinski and Nink's Dragon have been positioning themselves now upstairs. They're just clearing the catwalks and all of the stairwells. Zach Fontaine will find one. That's going to give F. Lipinski some key intel. And he's going to try for a nade chuck here on the corner. But he doesn't get it, and Pupichu's going to be coming out for the refrag. But Animal House will get it and take the point on Marsoc. Sorry, folks, got a little bit of a dry throat there. Sorry to cough in your ears, but my goodness, that was over. I didn't even realize that all of those other G-Men had died.
Yeah, that C4, while that position is hidden, C4 does not go through solid objects. So a trash can between the C4 and the dude saves the dude.
That is, I want a trash can like that.
Magic trash cans. Yeah, so that didn't work out. And then peeked it because he assumed that there was a kill and got taken down. And then Shrieking just held that position, took down the next guy to peek, who had a live frag in his hand, I believe, which then went down, set off his C4. They called the C4s as clear, so they no longer had to worry about checking corners, which gives you a little bit more momentum on this map. And then there were some defensive smokes thrown by a Miracle Dev on the platform that I think were to cover a rotation away from it, but it didn't really, nothing happened with those smokes. They just came out and then everyone stayed where they were. Zach did find a long shot from the far end of the tracks, but then he had to reload. And once you give that position away, it's just really easy to shoot. There's nowhere you can hide behind at the far end of the tracks. So, and then it was just Poopachu was left. Like you said, we didn't even realize it was over. It was just so fast.
Yeah, I was trying to keep my camera separate from NightFiree to keep from over explaining the same side. And then Lipinski, the one guy I was following there, like he gets in one firefight and the round's over. I'm like, what?
A lot of momentum on the side of Animal House. 2 very clean rounds gone to them, and now a Marsoc win on the underground objective. They're in a great position to defend here and put themselves up 3-1 on this series decider. Rank 12 could be looking at a win scenario next round against rank number 4 worldwide. Certainly a high pressure moment for this Animal House team and for G-Men. They don't want to be dipping down in rank.
Even if Animal House do not win the next round, pending a win here, they have that round to play with. They don't have to win it. They can go back to defense and defend for the win, which is, albeit safer, though. Do they want to give up the points? I'm sure they don't. So obviously they'll be going for the win on the Marsoc rounds as well. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, this has been a way closer match than you would have thought a rank 12 or rank 10, whatever it was, versus rank 4 worldwide matchup would be. But then again, the rankings in MMR are so close between positions in the top 10 to 15. Like, it's impossible to say like what a matchup between 12 and 8 or 12 and 2 would end up really doing.
Brass took a little fire from a pretty early angle from Willow, has to dip back. Self tucked in, but meantime, the rest of his team is working their way forward. The shield combo has gotten in upstairs cleanly. Miracle Dev as well, as he managed to come in through catwalk on the stairs. He actually has a pretty good line of sight down into Willow's lane, and if he keeps holding here, he might see Willow peeking, but I doubt Willow's going to risk it. And corrected. Willow does go for the peek just at the wrong time. Miracle is able to duck behind the pillars. Willow's wisp position is known. He finds Zach Fontaine. Brass pushes up on the backside. Catches him out. Here comes Green Theft on the backside. Catches Brass. Meanwhile, Nynx has found Poopachu and we're into a 3v4.
Animal House looking solid on their defense. I watched Brass come up from behind Willow there in that exchange, and then just as surprised as he was when he got shot in the back from Nynx. But man, oh man, Animal House playing very solid. G-Men still hanging in there. I mean,
they're not hanging in there. Miracle Dev found a pick, and now he's going to get the res. G-Men and the advantage 4-3.
Wow, that res came at the exact same time, and oh my goodness, a team kill from F. Lipinski onto Nynx, I believe it was.
Wow.
Unfortunate, but it's crazy because the grenade that went off just before that was timed so perfectly with that res. I thought that Zach had killed Poopachu.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me, and I wasn't realizing until I looked up at the alive, the kill count. Yeah, that I saw 4-2, and I was like, what the heck happened? Popped over to Lipinski. He gets upset about that kill, and now G-Men in a very good position pushing in on this objective. You gotta wonder if they're thinking cap. It is an option, but very hard to accomplish on this underground objective.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're gonna focus on entry through 2 stairways, which, you know,
that's the way to do it if you want to cap it. If one side can just blot out the sun for that far tunnel defender for Shrieking's position here, F. Lipinski can be taken out and they can go in for the cap while the smoke's still billowing up, and we are seeing the smokes come down the stairs now. It could be just a noise cover for them as they approach, but you can bet all eyes are going to be on it. F. Lipinski's going to actually rotate around to the other side of the wall to get a better look, and that could be his downfall.
We had a flash thrown with no pin pulled and 2 smokes that get angled into their attacking angle. Not exactly going the way they want. Finally, a roll that's going to provide some semblance of coverage, but Shrieking still can see through that. Early C4 detonation does make things a bit easier. the G-Men team. Smoke's coming in from the man on the backside. Lipinski no longer covering that stairwell as they both shifted to a bit of a cross angle here on objective. I think the man's position is going to be the most dangerous, but he's got that shield, so he's not going to be the most kill effective.
But here comes the push, and Miracle Dev's just dumping fire, but he doesn't get any part of that kill. Zach Fontaine will find the refrag on the Shrieking, and now it's all up to F. Lipinski, and he's getting pushed from both sides. The man checking both sides of the southern steps in. F. Lipinski will find one, he'll find two. Now it's just him and the man. Minute 30 left. Can he save it? Will the man? Oh, he drops the frag.
The knife!
And oh my goodness, Animal House!
God.
3-1. What a crazy play! Wow.
Wow.
Animal House do it. They set themselves a bit of a buffer here as we go into round 5. My goodness, I did not see that. Trip, give us the rundown.
Flip
What'd you
it.
see?
Right, so here's what I saw. I saw Brass get behind Willow, take him down. Then Green came up right behind him, took him down, which was totally unexpected. I didn't see it until after it had happened. And then there was also almost a team kill. Oh no, then Green rotated back in and there was a team kill. Very unfortunate. I understand it though. If he didn't radio that he was coming out of those, service tunnels, I would have shot him too. And then almost a team kill on the G-Men side. Zach shot at a Miracle Dev after he confirmed a body, which I think made him a little jumpy. So you could tell that everyone's really tense right now on the map. And then coming down those stairs, man, the throwing a flash without pulling the pin, those terrible, unfortunate placements of those smokes into the wall, not providing the coverage that they need. If they had just landed the other way towards objective, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
And so they had to deal with all the shooters that are just waiting for them to come around that stair, and it's just hard to do. I mean, yes, like Sleepy said, coming down both stairs is probably the best way to cap this objective. But
Realistically, coming through all 3 entrances at once with your full team is the best way to do it, but that's not usually very possible at the end of a round or towards the end of a round.
I was going to point out Green's position too, because they didn't place a C4, they placed a person where you place C4, and Green was in that alley waiting for action to happen so he could move either way, and clearly it's a nice little move there. It's a nice little spot. Worked out for him fantastically, and Animal House looking to take the series against ranked number 4 right now as we hop into round number 5. Brass to Mouth might find himself some action pretty soon as he comes in here. Clicker out. He's going to toss some C4. Doesn't find Lipinski. A quick hold up from the Animal House push does prevent that from going off, but Willow comes in. Poop finds one. Finds 2.
2 down overpass, 2 down overpass.
Yeah, G-Men are holding up pretty strong here. The angle from Poop pretty much strong as heck. Heckin' strong on this catwalks push. Pretty good defensive position for this objective if you think about it.
Yeah, you can easily pop up and nice little head peek there to spot out any action. Willow is pushing in underground. I think everyone's sort of shifting to an underground approach because G-Men have this one pretty tightly locked up on the main floor.
Oh, and Zach's gonna... Oh, the trade! Zach Fontaine will get the headshot. Willow won't, but he will get the confirmed kill. And that's 1 down on each team again, but Animal House down to its last 2 now. Plenty of time left, so something can definitely still happen, and even a sneak cap could happen for all we know, the way things have been happening in this game. But right now I'm thinking that's probably not so much a factor.
Shrieking pad out. He's trying to figure out where the remaining defenders are. I don't know if he's aware of Miracle Dev's angle, and Miracle Dev's playing the long game here. He's not going to peek out until Shrieking's fully exposed. Now's the time to do it, though. He might miss Shrieking. No, he won't. Catches him completely out against a white wall. Easy shots to land there. And now it's all down to Lipinski in a 1v4.
That's it. F. Lipinski will be coming up from the basement, but I'm not sure if that route is really going to hold too fruitful. There's a lot of eyes still available on the G-Men side, and I have to think at least 2 people at least a person apiece is watching both of those approach stairwells from the basement.
Gonna make his entry out to the stairs. The man pretty locked in on this stairway entrance. Gonna be his first contender inside that train, and then the rest of G-Men should react accordingly, but they have landed some pretty dang clutch plays already against G-Men. Case in point, the triple kill last round with ending it on a knife. Not gonna be the case here. The man finds the headshot. G-Men hang in to this series. Push it up 3-2.
Well, things have come to pass. Animal House is able to close things out here, win the series in this next round if they can just hold down this next objective. They still have a point they can play with as well, but you don't want to do that because that's going to put you as on the clutch 7th round, having to win on Marsoc and on Subway with the unpredictability of the objectives, and even getting that what used to be coveted north spawn objective on Marsoc won't really do you much good anymore with the new spawns that have been changed up a bit as the map was changed. So close game. Animal House really gonna lock down this objective, I think. I don't think we'll see too much aggression, though, you know, one person will probably go a bit wild card on us. We saw Nolomite doing that a lot in rounds where Animal House could have been playing a bit tighter. They still had that one wild card in Nolomite go out and go crazy. So I would imagine we could probably see the same from Willow or one of the other guys on the team. But I think they might want to just get this win and say, close it out, done deal. Let's get our MMR and get out of here.
I think Animal House is trying to attack from too many angles at once. And when you know, there are so many options now because of the map change, but if you try and take all of them, you've only got one person that can go each way.
Yeah.
And then when that one guy goes down, that opens you up for a flank, and then you have to be concerned about whether you're being flanked or not. And that is worse, in my opinion, than knowing that all of your guys are still up and close by.
What a fantastic series this has been. A bit of a shocker as Animal House essentially lead the way in this series, taking map 1 4-1, losing map 2 4-2, but now they have the lead 3-2. They're on the defense on their map pick. All they need to do is secure this Volk round, and they get themselves a hefty chunk of MMR to punch themselves up in the rankings.
Ooh, it's do or die right now for G-Men, and they've got to be feeling that pressure. The man and Zach Fontaine take their usual positions. They're going down the south stairs in their usual shield shooter combo.
We do have a similar defensive position here. Shrieking is waiting at these stairs.
C4 right above a Miracle Dev and Poopachu.
Oh, yes, it is on the other side of that grate, and it catches both of them. That's a nice double. This seems familiar. G-Men not in a good spot.
Wow, an amazing defensive C4 there. And a really good call there from Trip. Thanks for pointing that out so we didn't miss that one. That is a big boon for G-Men. And a huge boost for Animal House.
A lot of pressure on the remaining three. Upstairs squad. Actually, where is the third? He's downstairs. Brass is underground
downstairs.
working his way.
Yeah, F. Lipinski, you don't have anything to look at anymore, brother. You are looking at an empty stairwell.
Definitely has something to look at here as the man and Zach Fontaine are getting ever closer on this stairwell. They see the explosion. They see two dead. Gotta wonder what exactly happened. Obviously, you don't have to worry too much about the C4 placement. They do have to worry about this shot onto the head of the man. The comms from Shrieking are enough to notify them that there is one here. I think the man could have been caught off guard. And he thinks there's only just the shield, but when is it ever just the shield with these two?
Never.
He finds the shots over top. What a fantastic reaction from Shrieking. He saw the push from the man. He knew there was going to be another one up top. Brass goes down to Nix on the backside, and now it's a 1v4.
Are looking up for Animal House. This 1v4 in a 3-minute 30-second scenario, that is just ideal for Animal House. They have got to be feeling good right now. If their kill count's accurate, which it should be, though Nix probably didn't, or not Nix, but Streaking probably didn't get a kill count shout out for that last guy, so they might still be working with some old info, but either way, they're thinking at most it's a 4v2, and that's a pretty good feeling, knowing you're leading, you have this point that could technically go to the other team if things go south, but you know, knowing that you could be 2 minutes away from taking down the 4th ranked team worldwide in your weekly matchup is pretty awesome.
I guess to G-Men's credit, they've kept it close. The MMR loss is going to be a hefty sum, but they're in 4th place. They can afford to drop a few ranks. The odds that they get completely pushed out of the top 7, I think, are pretty low, but still, Animal House are going to take a lot away from this, and there's going to be some serious shaking up in the rankings this week, starting off with this match.
Oh yeah, there's really no calling who's gonna end up in, like, I'd say from position 4 to 7 by the end of this weekend.
True.
It's really gonna be impossible. We'll be able to start calling it a little more clearly as the matches get played throughout the rest of the week, but yeah, for the most part, it's all locked up and finished. And speaking of locked up and finished, Animal House are the victors here in the series as they take out the last remaining member of G-Men and take their map choice again on map number 3, Subway Trip Night. Last thoughts. I mean, this game, super solid. I'm so glad that I managed to notice this was being cast and jump on with you guys. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, so on that last round, the C4 doing work, I mean, that's a huge boost to your defense when you can take down more than one player at a time. And then able to get Shrieking, being able to get the shooter over the shield before going down, also a huge pick, because then it was just, I forget who was still alive on the G-Men side, but they went down as well, and in a trade, and then it was just the man, and with a shield against 4 shooters on a map that is basically flank central, there's not a whole lot he can do. There's too many angles. There's no good approach to the objective. I mean, if I was in his position, I wouldn't know what to do.
Quick shout out to the Echo Arena lads that have dropped by. We do appreciate you swinging in for the action. That tail end of it, and I mean, what a great series to watch today. It sets the pace for the rest of the weekend, and there's a lot of games this weekend. Tons of matches Saturday, Sunday. So those 2 days, it's going to be, man, the fallout on Monday. It'll be interesting to assess it then, because we'll finally understand where exactly all these teams are going to lie and who is going to be going to the round robin and who's going to be competing in the wild card. Not this weekend, but next weekend. That is coming up pretty dang quick. As a reminder, I believe it's next weekend. I think I have that correct. Yeah.
Yes, that is right.
I do. So make sure you're tuning in for that action. It's going to be fantastic. The teams that are going to be in that pool are unbelievable. The skill is going to be it's going to be still pretty dang high. There's going to be a pretty dang high skill threshold in the wild card. We might see some new teams get formed for it, but the best of luck to them, because the action is going to be very competitive there. I think that's going to be it from us here at the desk, though. A quick shout out to our sponsors, Pro2 VR, VR Cover, Rebuff, Reality, and Fixed. We appreciate all the support from them. They help provide us with prizes to provide the winners of each league, and there's a decent amount on the line this season. It's only going to get bigger next season as the league continues to grow, and I mean, what a great time to be in esports, huh, gentlemen? These games are so good.
VR esports anyways. Esports itself is hanging in there, I guess, but you know, we've been building things our own way for a while now, so I'm happy to see the growth in the league, and next season is our 10th season, as we talked about earlier in the cast. So that'll be really exciting. I'm hoping that we can really do some special things for next season, seeing as it is, of course, again, the 10th season. Got it. Yeah, no, I mean, if a new team gets formed for the Challenger Cup Series and it manages to win and get into the round robin stage, good luck to them, because as NightFiree said, the top 10 to 15 ranks are just chopping it up with each other so well nowadays that it's gonna be a bloodbath going forward in the events. But yeah,
looking forward to it. But I think that's going to be it for us here on the desk today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Another quick shout out to the Echo Arena folks dropping by for that last round. We do appreciate seeing you in here. And that'll be it. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. My co-caster Triple Nipple with 3 nipples, and Sleepy with just 2 3s. Good night, everybody.